All right, well, if you're tuning in, we made it to our first spot. Now another hurry up and wait. We got to wait till 8 o'clock for lines in, but as you can see, I'm at a not very quiet place. I'm here at this mill, but there's a good wall here and it creates a good eddy. So I've got a variety of smallmouth stuff done up. I've got 3 or 4 drop shots with different size weights, a Ned rig, a shaking minnow, and a Carolina rig. So hopefully we'll get up here and start putting some fish in the boat. I figured to have a shot to be in contention for this, I've got to be catching a scoreable bass about every 15 minutes. So you know, my goal coming into this, you know, to do what I need to do is I figure I need to catch at least 100 pounds in 2 days. So if I can get in here and keep the pace going, we'll be right where we need to be. But got to keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully there's a good school of fish up here and we can get it going quick. Well, we just wrapped up day 1 here on the St. Lawrence River for me, and man, it started out good, but unfortunately things slowed down halfway through the day. So you know, with that being said, I'm still sitting decent. I have no complaints. I definitely had some worse starts for the year and had some good recoveries. Did I want today to go a lot better? Absolutely. But you know, that's what happens. You formulate a plan based on your practice, and then you just try to execute and hope it goes well. And from a fishing standpoint, today went well. I mean, I think I caught, let's see, how many fish, just so I'm keeping it real here. I caught 13 bass for 39 pounds today. And it's not what I was hoping for. The goal was 50 plus pounds, so we were a few fish short. But you know, I think it's just the way my day played out. So to start the day, I started at this feed mill area where there was a wall that had a good eddy, where I caught several good ones in practice, and I've caught them good there in the past, and I thought it was a place where I could pull in there and potentially have a school be there where I could catch, you know, 4 or 5 or 10 or whatever. And got there, had, you know, 10, 15 minutes to wait before lines in, and I should have known. When live scope showed that there was no fish there, I probably should have left. But you know, I was hoping there was some fish maybe tucked up on the wall and I couldn't see them. But got there, fished for 10 or 15 minutes and didn't catch any. So at that point, I've already started out the day being in the hole. So I run down to my bridge and pull up to the first bridge piling. I don't catch anything. I go to the next bridge piling. I don't catch anything. Now I'm a little worried, but I noticed, I think I got hung up, and I eased up to the bridge piling there, and I saw what I thought was a decent one swim off. I'm like, man, I just threw my bait in there. Why did this thing not eat? So I knew I needed to do something different. Well, I was throwing a 3/8 ounce weight on my drop shot, but things were kind of bright and sunny. Conditions were a little bit different. The day before it was windy and cloudy and rainy and all that. I'm like, well, I'm going to put on a lighter weight. So I put on a little 1/4 ounce weight or 3/16 ounce weight on my drop shot. I threw it right back up there where I saw that fish, and immediately, first cast, catch one. Look at that. Switch weight, the lighter weight, immediately get bit. First cast. All right, on the board. That new secret color, green pumpkin I told you about. That's hilarious.
Oh, lock in, dude. 3 pounds, 4 ounces.
3-4. There you go. Just got to figure them out. Made a little adjustment. There's this new color that's called green pumpkin that's really a big secret. I put it on very first cast, but I think the big key was I switched to a 1/4 ounce weight because I'd just thrown in there, and you know, when I stuck my nose up there, I saw there was a fish there. So hopefully we figured it out. And all I did was change weight. So apparently that was a good decision and a good adjustment. And from there, the wheels got turning. It seemed like about every other bridge piling I'd go to, I'd catch a scoreable bass, and I ran over to my other walls I had by another one of the mills, and caught a couple over there as well. So it was working out well at that point. Each one of these key places I had, I was pulling it in and catching a fish. And I think after that first period, I had 7 or 8 scoreables, and was sitting, I think, in the top 10. So I'd really, dug myself out of that hole and got the momentum going like I thought. And I was hoping I could keep going the rest of the day. Well, second period comes along and it starts out slower. I'm starting to go through my same areas where I'd had bites and mix it in with a couple that I hadn't fished. And I caught a few, but I started to unfortunately go the wrong way in the standings, and wrapped up that second period. I'd fallen to maybe 14th or something like that. So I think I only caught maybe 3 or 4 scoreables that second period. Same thing, just throwing the drop shot around and doing that, but they didn't seem to be replenishing like I had thought they were replenishing. So, halfway through the day, like I said, I'd caught a decent amount of fish on a drop shot, nothing special, using the Speed Demon Pro drop shot rod with the Speed Demon Pro reel. And, just the biggest difference I had 4 different drop shots done up with 4 different weights based on the depth of water I was fishing, because some of the spots, some of the pilings are in 5 foot of water. Some of them are in 50 foot of water with a tremendous amount of current. Flies are biting me. Got flies biting me and motorcycles ripping up and down the street.
Bad backfire motorcycle.
Yes. So the drop shot, just the old flatworm drop shotting, mixed up with different colors and different sizes of drop shot weights, little trocar drop shot hook, and it's pretty basic.
Say something, I guess.
A nice one here in practice.
About that. Yeah. Picture that. 4 pounds, 8 ounces.
4.8. All right, what a chunk. 4.8. That'll make up a lot of room. Beautiful. 40-some foot of water.
I felt like if there was a fish around, they'd bite it, and that seemed to be the case. But this goes back to what I talked about in the in my intro, is this place just is not the fishery it used to be. And I know if you look at today's weights, because I think Matt Becker had 100 and something pounds. Place is still a phenomenal fishery, don't get me wrong, but it's not what it was. It's not even half of what it was 10 years ago, because there's a lot of places where used to get bit and that I should be getting bit now. And I've heard a lot of the other anglers say that too, is just doesn't seem to be near the fish here. And what's interesting too, a lot of the fish I caught today had hook marks in their mouths. So whenever you see a lot of that, that tells me that the place gets a lot of pressure. There's a few fish that just get caught a lot. So catch and release is good, but the fish only tolerate so much. And what's interesting too, I've heard a lot of anglers say this is, and this is what's neat about forward facing sonar. A lot of times you'd see some fish on live scope, you'd throw it out there and watch them come down, and they'll swim over to your bait and they're like, no, I've seen that before, and they go the other way. So that just tells you fish that have seen a lot of pressure. So with that being said, let's see, where are we at? I'm sitting in 24th. So the first goal is, to make that money cut. So I'm sitting 6 pounds out of the money. So realistically, I'm 2 fish out of the money. And for the top 10, let's see where I was at weight-wise. Top 10 is Alton Jones Jr., who's shooting for Angler of the Year. A little higher than I thought. He's caught 20 fish for 58 pounds. So I had the right momentum going. It just slowed down. So 58 pounds to be in 10th place. So if we double that, that's going to be 116 pounds. So I'm not even going to try to do the math of that, what I got to catch tomorrow, but I need to catch 75 pounds tomorrow. Sounds like a lot, but hey, 3 or 4 guys did it today. I know some guys will do it tomorrow, and there's no reason to say I can't do it on Thursday, my next day out there. So definitely an achievable goal. Back to what I saw the 3rd day of practice when I got bit in this area was the fish are there to do it. It's just, I think a lot of this is timing too. I think, some of the places I caught them today, you'd pull in there and not catch a fish, but then you'd come back later and there'd be a fish up there. So I know what kind of schools of smallmouth are potentially out here. If I could have a whole school pull up on one of these places, you could catch 5 or 10 in a hurry. So I'm going to stay optimistic, keep my fingers crossed. I'm probably not going to deviate a lot just because it's so hard unless you have tremendous amount of knowledge of a place to just go fishing. I mean, could I, drive an hour, launch my boat and go fish farther down towards Lake Ontario where there's probably a better fish population? Absolutely. But the odds of going down there, doing that, stumbling across the amount of fish that I need to catch is very difficult to do. And if I had something where I felt like I could do that, I'd do it. But I'm going to stick with what I found in practice, and I'm going to go make the most of it. I might try a few places here or there in that area that I haven't tried, but I'm going to go. I'm hope and pray tonight that the next couple of days that, there's some fish that come in. But I know where the fish live, so maybe my area will get a good rest on tomorrow. Maybe there's nobody fishing it, and I can go out there on the next day and have the kind of day I need to have. And like I said, I was on the right momentum today, but I just needed it to happen at that rate the entire day. So if I could have that, I think I could definitely salvage a check. I think if I could get in there and potentially have some schools move in to where I could catch multiple fish, I could make that move right up the leaderboard and still make the knockout round. So looking forward to day 2 and hoping that we can keep 3 periods of good momentum going. And who knows, maybe we'll be fishing on Saturday.
$4.8. What a beauty. Look how fat that fish is.